All right, family. Greetings. Good morning, everyone, wherever you might be tuning in from. Assalamu alaikum, salam, peace. However you want to be greeted, it only means peace be unto you. Man, we are streaming live on Facebook and on our YouTube channel, Forward Money, family. I am the CEO of Forward Money Network, family. We are a global black network, and we show people how to get out of the current system of debt. So this stream here is kind of like a follow-up to our Future Money Show, the episode that we just had the Saturday just passed, right? Because we are constantly finding information where these banks and now the Central Bank of America, the Fed, is partnering with somebody to develop digital currency initiative, right? So this is something that we need to take a look at because this is serious, and what they're trying to do, they're trying to hold their position. They don't want to give it up, right? So you need to pay attention to this because we're going digital, right? We're going digital. So as I found this article on Forbes, right, and I wanted to read a little bit of it, right, so you can get the understanding on where the world is going and what the banks are doing. That's something that we need to pay attention to, right? And then make sure you listen to what they're saying about gold and what they're saying about the dollar, right? These are these experts talking, right? So Fed partners with MIT Base Digital Currency Initiative to explore central bank digital currency. Two events took place on August 13th. One was a speech from Lael Branion at the Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco Innovation Office Hours. The other was the publication of a paper in the Fed's Notes series on comparing means of payment, what role for a central bank digital currency. It is no coincidence that both events happen on the same day. The Federal Reserve Bank wants to communicate that it takes CBDC seriously and is engaged in efforts to research a path towards implementation, right? The Fed's primary purpose is to ensure the financial stability of the United States, in the service of its citizens. Now, this is a lie. Now, I got to stop it right here, family, but this is a straight up lie. So we already knowing that they're not trying to insure us nothing. They're trying to ensure their control because they took the dollar off the gold standard in 1971, and that process started in 1913, then 1933, 1944. All these are critical years to the dollar and to the stability of the dollar and to your wealth. Because since then, really since 1933, the dollar has been paper, but officially became just a banknote, right, in 1971. Now, this is critical because you go to work for this and you sell products for this, but you're not getting real money. The dollar is not real money, family, right? It has been an open secret that the Fed had been working on researching central bank digital currencies. They were in stealth mode. Some indications came up during the House Finance Committee hearing on June 17th. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell made it clear that as central bank digital currency is an extremely important part of the national infrastructure, and under the purview of the Fed will be in charge of the core infrastructure of central bank digital currency. Now, listen now, all the central banks are talking about coming out with a digital currency, but the Fed want to be in control of this. All of them. The latest news revealed how the Fed has gone about researching and testing technology to support a central bank digital currency. The speech gives broad strategic direction, while the note is more narrowly focused on the rationale for a central bank digital currency. Dr. Brainerd is a member of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve as the chair of the Committee on Payments. Listen at it. Listen at the language, family. Payments, right? They talking about a payment system, right? It got to be a payment system attached to these currencies to make them be useful around the world. Payments, clearing, and settlements. She is the leader on CBDC research at the Fed. is also prominent in the Fed Now project, which is housed at the Boston Fed. Central bank digital currency. And if you don't know what we saying, Boston Fed, all this, all right, the Federal Reserve is the American central bank, and they have and they have branches all out through America. They got 12 of them, right? I can't name all of the cities right off head, but I know San Francisco, Dallas, I think Atlanta, New York, Boston, St. Louis, right? And I know it's 12 of them. No, they have 12 branches, right? They have 12 branches. So just follow this. So when you hear something coming out the Boston Fed, and Jerome Powell is the head of all of them, right? And the Federal Reserve Bank branches are pretty much ran by a governor, a board of governors, as they call themselves. Central bank digital currency will complement cash, not replace it entirely. Now listen, now this is tricked up now. This is tricked up stuff, but you got to understand what they're saying, family. We're going into a cashless society. So when they say stuff like not to replace it entirely, they just trying to, you know what I'm saying? They just trying to really, that's misinformation. Now that's a misdirection for you can think that you holding cash is cool, right? And it's really not. This was one of the central messages of the speech. The central messages of the speech. Central bank digital currencies present opportunities, but also risks. Risks in the form of privacy, enhance illicit activity, and financial stability. An impetus for the Fed's efforts is the possibility of widespread global adoption of Libra. Now, that's the Facebook coin, which can threaten the Fed's control of monetary policy. So the Fed want to keep control, family. This is dealing with your money now. You got this is serious, because everybody going to work and everybody working a job, but a lot of folks ain't focused on this though. This is what needs to be focused on as long as you going to work, right? And even if you run a business, you still need to focus on this, because this is going to affect you. Digital currency, electronic payments from China is much further ahead in terms of implementation. So now they trying to compete with China all in the same time, because they saying China is further ahead into having a digital currency into their electronic payments. Right? That's what they're saying. Digital currency electronic payments in Chinese international strategy threatens the primacy. Listen to that. It threatens the primacy of the dollar as the international unit of account and a means of payment. See, this is, man, listen, this thing is deep. This thing is heating up, right? This thing is heating up now. Dr. Brainard also laid out the steps taken by the Fed to research and study central bank digital currency in its environment. A technology lab, Tech Lab, was established by the Federal Reserve Board to build and test distributed ledger-based solutions for CBDC. The ledger is the blockchain. They are trying to use something, they just don't want to say blockchain, but this is what they're really trying to use. The Tech Lab is a multidisciplinary team consisting of technologists from the Federal Reserve banks of, listen at her, Cleveland, Dallas, and New York, supporting a policy team studying the monetary policy, financial stability, and payments infrastructure through the lens of the Fed's primary purchase. Dr. Brainard announced a partnership with MIT, Digital Currency Initiative, DCI, with the Boston Fed taking the lead as the liable with DCI. The multi-year partnership is aimed at building and testing a hypothetical central bank digital currency. This research process will result in the open publication of results, as well as the release of the resulting code based into open source. Researching the publications and activities from the DCI is one way to get a good idea about the possibility, the possible direction of the DCI Fed collaboration. One of the prominent DCI researchers is a co-investor in implementing a Lightning, the Layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, a response to the Bank of England's blockchain paper published by the DCI contains multiple reference to layer 2. Hence, layer 2 is expected to figure conspiracially in the CBDC. Right? Hence, layer 2 is expected to occur in the C research conducted by the DCI. However, in light of the Federal Reserve Act, there may be legal tender limitations on central bank digital currencies, especially the layer 2 part of the solution. The Federal Reserve Act is more than 100 years old, family. This is so deep, man. This is so deep, right? I'm trying to get to a point where it talk about what's going to happen to gold and cryptocurrency, right? A job posting, listen, a job posting on the DCI site for a CBDC developer asks for expertise in C/C++, Go and Rust, right? Go is the language used in Go Ethereum as well as in Hyperledger Fabric. C/C++ is used in Bitcoin Core. Rust is heavily used in Libra as well as in modern cryptographic library development. Thus, this job posting offers some hints on what blockchains are being examined as part of the collaboration. All indications, including associated interviews with the DCI and Boston Fed personnel, point to a multi-year, multi-blockchain testing effort in the CBDC context. However, it does not seem like the DCI will be building their own blockchain. Only time will tell. Now, this is deep, family. So you see this going on. Where do you think the price of gold is going? And where do you think gold is going to go to when somebody merges gold with a cryptocurrency, with a digital currency? What do you think that this coin can get to? How valuable would this be in the marketplace? As we go and look at the price of gold right now, is it just a little under? It's just a little under $2,000, but this is still an all-time high. This is still over the high. Well, this ain't even the all-time high. Matter of fact, the all-time high is $2,075 to $80, right? So the price of gold is going to go to the roof, right? And a digital currency that can link to gold is going to go through the roof, right? So I just wanted to sit that there for let y'all see that the Fed is trying to take control because they can't stop cryptocurrency. They're going to have to roll out some digital to replace the cash and the dollar, but the Federal Reserve want to have control because they rule, because they can control the monetary system. They control the interest rates on the dollar. They control everything. So they don't want me and you to benefit from a digital currency or a cryptocurrency. That's another reason they don't want Libra to come out, because Facebook already has 2 billion users. How many people will use that coin if Facebook were to do an ICO right now? A lot of people would probably get that coin and we could get it for pennies, and then we know that coin will be used because Facebook already got 2 billion followers. Come on, man. We just got to see what's really going on, right? So it's going to be a shift, and not only is it a shift in cash to digital currency, right? But it's also going to be a shift in gold, because as we see these fiat currencies, once they start to fall, and they are falling fast now, because Venezuela currency fell last year. This year, Lebanon currency fell. So we already seeing that these fiat currencies, they falling, right? And they're starting to speed up. And now the biggest fall of them all is going to be the dollar. And that's going to trigger down and be a domino effect to all the rest of them. Why? Because all of the fiat currencies are attached to the dollar. Right? So we just got to understand and get in position, family, because it's going to happen. You cannot keep printing this without it falling. It got to happen, family. And gold, that's why gold prices is going up. The national debt of America is going up. The total debt of America is going up. They can't pay this back. They might as well stop taxing us because they can't pay the debt back. They can't pay the debt back, right? So what the Federal Reserve is trying to do is trying to keep power, but they won't go ahead and just collapse the dollar, and they can't raise interest rates. We had almost zero interest rates on the dollar. So the dollar ain't gaining no power, no strength. It ain't going up at all, family. See, this is just banking one-on-one, but it's really signs of money, the signs of business, and the signs of warfare. Because how are you going to protect yourself? Where they tell you the cash you got is useless. Now you need this digital currency, right? But we have to get involved in things that is happening outside of this system. Because this system is falling and crumbling. And they're trying to come up with new ways to keep it afloat so they can continue to rule and keep everybody else in poverty while they live in rich, right? And the chairman of the Federal Reserve, he really don't know the scam. He not behind it. It's a shadow banking system that pushed them, that he worked for, that he has no control over. Whatever they tell him to do, he has to do it, right? So family, just knowing that gold is going to be the medium of exchange, and digital currency is going to play a pivotal part in this too, a very significant part in this too. This is not hypothetical. All you got to do is just pay attention to the sign, what's being reeled out and what's being released, family. What is happening? What is happening with America and China? So we think these trade wars is dealing about this currency. It's dealing about the treasuries that China hold, that they are starting to dump. Russia done dumped almost all of the United States treasury. They don't want the bonds because the bonds are just paper. The bonds are just paper. What you see stockpiled behind me, that's what the rulers, that's what China want, that's what Russia want. These are the dictators that is leaning, and this is going to trigger World War III. Because America is not going down without a fight. So the dollar would not fall before World War III take place, family. Just remember what I said. The dollar will not fall before the final war, World War III, takes place. In the midst of that war taking place, because it's going to happen, and all of this stuff you're seeing about currency, the dollar, gold, trade wars, all of this is going to trigger the war that will bring America to her knees, and then it's going to bring the dollar to her knees first. Right? First, right? So we got a short clip, and I just wanted to break that out. But now we got a clip right quick where I'm going to let the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan show y'all and teach y'all and about the dollar falling, and then the government going to come behind it. So nothing I say from me. It is from study that I have did, research that I have did, but it's primarily from me getting involved in economics and studying the dollar based on what my teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, tell us to do. He's been telling us that the dollar is paper. He's been telling us that the Federal Reserve is the synagogue of Satan. He's been telling us to find a way to get your hands on some gold. He's been telling us to look for systems, find a way how to minimize taxes and all of that to get out of this scam, right? And he's been telling us this, family. So I'm just listening. I'm just listening to the wise man, and I'm following the wise man. But family, and stay tuned. Remember tonight, Business and Warfare broadcast, we have my sponsor, the man that showed me. He didn't teach me what real money was, but he showed me a simple system how to get it, and it has changed my life dramatically. So tonight, family, we have Business and Warfare broadcast, exclusive interview of entrepreneur, professional network marketer, my brother, Vincent Muhammad from New York, family. We also call him the King of New York, family. So please make sure you're tuned in tonight at 10 Eastern. And if you on the team already, you already on Team Forward, family, make sure you're plugging into everything that's coming out, because we're going through a major, major transition. So make sure you're plugged in. Make sure you're plugged in, family. With that being said, family, here's the latest clip of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that I want y'all to see. So please pay attention to what he said. We'll see y'all tonight on Business and Warfare broadcast. Out.
As though if he does make 8 million jobs, you're going to be the recipient. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was a very truthful warner. He had our cartoonist Eugene Majid make a cartoon in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper at that time, with the factories closing and a locked gate, and black people all outside the gate looking for a job. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you must rise up and do something for yourself before you're forced to do it. And now the factories are closing, and white folks are crying out for the outsourcing of jobs, because the labor market has fought for higher wages, and higher wages has literally made it unprofitable for corporate America to compete with those things that are manufactured in Asia. So outsourcing means that you bring your jobs to Asia, where they may work for $1 a day, and then bring those products back into America to sell them to the American people that corporate America has abandoned to increase their bottom line at the expense of the American people and at the expense of black people, who are always the last hired and the first fired. Where's our future? As we open this 25th anniversary of NBUF, do you have a future in a country that doesn't have a future? I know America looks very strong and impenetrable. Not so. The economy of this country is held up with nothing of substance. The dollar bill is not backed by anything sound. It used to be called a silver certificate, and it used to say pay to the bearer on demand, the equivalent in silver. This is not backed by silver, it's not backed by gold, it's backed by the GDP, or gross domestic product, of this country. And as the doorway of Asia begins to close on America, her economy is going to go down, and many scholars of economics feel that one day you'll just see a crash. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us that one day you will see the rich with $1,000 bill in their hand, lighting their cigars with $1,000 bill, because the currency will have no more value. And when the currency goes down, the government comes down behind the currency. Now